Lights, camera, access.
It's hard to go back to that.
This is full-on sex, and it happened again and again and again.
The allegations, as specific as they are horrific. Access has the full breakdown of Leaving Neverland as Macaulay Culkin's name comes up yet again.
Macaulay was where I was.
He was gone. I mean, gone.
Out of respect, Riverdale closed down production for today.
And we're just thinking about his kids and his family. All right, guys, well, last night, part one of the highly controversial HBO documentary Leaving Neverland aired.
Yeah, the doc gives firsthand accounts from two men, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, who accused Michael Jackson of sexually abusing them as kids, starting when they were 7 and 10.
Well, Michael has always denied any inappropriate behavior, and he was found not guilty in 2005. But we want to warn you, some of the language is very graphic.
When I saw him, Michael Jackson told me to go on stage with him and dance.
He was one of the kindest, most gentle, loving, caring people I knew. And he also sexually abused me for 7 years.
The movie theater had these two, like, private rooms, and so we would have sex in those rooms. That was a bit dangerous.
The documentary is at times shocking and disturbing, but the film's director, Dan Reed, told us it was all necessary.
To be confronted with, in graphic detail, descriptions of sexual activity between, you know, a man of 29 or 31 and a little boy who didn't even know what sex was is, yeah, that's absolutely shocking. But I think it was necessary to confront people with the reality of this. This isn't just a cuddle and a kiss. This is full-on sex, and it happened again and again and again.
Reaction has been divided, some supporting Robson and Safechuck, others criticizing them while defending Jackson's legacy. Remember, both men in the past gave statements that Jackson did not touch them, and Robson even testified the same under oath. Jackson's estate has blasted the documentary as one-sided and filed a $100 million lawsuit against HBO, and some family members have accused Robson and Safechuck of telling their story for money. Reed says they were not paid a cent.
Not in any way. Neither they nor their families nor anyone. There was no compensation or payment or remuneration of any description whatsoever. Nor will there be.
Did you license photos or video from them?
No. No, absolutely not. That would have been payment.
One of the many bombshells in the documentary comes from Safechuck, who met Michael when he was cast in a Pepsi commercial when he was 10. He claims he and Michael were like a married couple.
I say married because we had this mock wedding ceremony. We did this in his bedroom, and the ring is nice. It has a row of diamonds with a gold band.
Another shocker was when Wade's mother, Joy, revealed that at one point Jackson allegedly wanted Wade, who he nicknamed Little One, to actually move in with him.
Michael said to me, "Will you leave Little One with me for a year?"
I was on board with this. I wanted to. Are you kidding me?
I said, "Michael, he's my child. He's 7 years old. I'm not going to leave him with you." And after it was all over, he looked at me and he said, "I always get what I want."
The documentary also mentioned Macaulay Culkin, who was childhood friends with Michael and has always denied anything inappropriate happened to him.
Macaulay was where I was, you know, at my previous trips, right by Michael's side, every moment.
Okay.
And now I was kind of on the sideline as far as being Michael's friend, you know, and being his favorite.
Macaulay talked about his friendship with Michael on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast earlier this year.
It's like one of my friendships that people question only because of the fact that he was the most famous person in the world.
The age gap is probably why they question.
Yeah,
why
exactly.
would an older man? Why one? But only you would know.
Like, he was the kind of person who'd been through the exact same freaking thing and wanted to make sure that I wasn't alone in that.
So now, a lot of people struggling with what about the music? What about his legacy? Is this going to affect his radio airplay, his Cirque show in Vegas? At the moment, no decisions have been made about that.
Yeah. Well, and as for Michael Jackson, the musical Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, We're told today it's going to open the summer of next year on Broadway as planned.
Yeah, well, the question, I guess, now is also, who is Wade Robson? Well, remember the Britney Spears MTV VMA performance with the snake? Yeah, that was Wade's idea. And we've got the entire story behind that and how he also helped NSYNC coming up later in the show.
Okay. All right, guys, now to Ben Affleck, who's back with a new movie and a new healthier lifestyle. Simply
but he was more than I could jog. Okay. And then when I got out, I still had to run and find him.
Okay, I saw it. It is the most dramatic episode to date.
Oh, you got 2 points. It must be.
All right, Scott, straight ahead. Wade Robson's life goes far beyond the allegations against Michael.
Yeah, he choreographed Britney's tour when he was just 16 and then guided her through these music videos, including Oops, I Did It Again.
There's much more, and it's all coming up next.
WW Freestyle is for every He was one of the kindest, most gentle, loving, caring people I knew. And he also sexually abused me.
For 7 years, Wade Robson claims he was sexually abused by Michael Jackson starting when he was only 7 years old. It's all in the HBO documentary Leaving Neverland. Part 2 is going to air tonight.
So who is Wade Robson? His association with Michael started 2 years before the alleged abuse began, when he was inspired to dance thanks to Michael's greatest piece of work.
If it wasn't for Thriller, I don't think I possibly never would have started dancing. I mean, that was the first thing I ever saw of dance. When I was 2, 3 years old, I was already starting to pick up some of the choreography, and, you know, by 4 years old, I had the whole thing down.
Makes sense that at age 5, Wade won a Michael Jackson dance contest as seen in Leaving Neverland. That led him to performing with Michael during one of his Australian concerts where Wade is from. Wade stole the show with his spot-on costume and dancing.
I knew then that I wanted to be an entertainer. I didn't know all the specifics of it yet, but I knew that I wanted to entertain in some form. One day, my mother and my sister and I packed up 6 suitcases and left. Everybody thought we were nuts, and we didn't have much money, but we're still here.
When Wade moved to the U.S., Michael became a mentor, and he appeared in his music videos like Jam and Black or White. But by 12, he had retired from dancing and began a career as a dance teacher.
It was a little hard at first because a lot of people would come in and say, okay, so who's teaching? Like, little white boy over there with the shaved head, and people would walk out before I even started. When I was 16, I guess Britney saw a reel of mine. The funny part is that we didn't tell anybody in her camp my age. None of them knew. So they would call and talk to my mother and think she was my wife.
He was just 16 when he worked on Britney's first tour and went on to have a big role in her career. He was behind the music video for Oops, I Did It Again.
He's been with me since day one, since I started doing Baby One More Time and all of my first beginning tours. So he's amazing. He's very cool.
The thing I wanted to do with her when I got involved was, obviously, which I've kind of been credited to doing, is taking her away from her sort of bubblegum image. And like she's doing every day, she's growing up and she's changing as a person. She's evolving. And I just wanted to show that in her work.
Wade was even the one responsible for the snake in Britney's iconic MTV VMA performance. He also gained fame working with NSYNC. He choreographed their video for Pop and subbed in for Joey when he was injured during rehearsal.
They're going to add a Wade in there to do some of the wide shots and let me do close-ups.
Taking over for Joey in some of these dance sequences is a little strange. You know, I wanted to do it because whatever I could do to help out the guys and make this work. We really had no choice.
Some controversy when he was rumored to be the cause of Britney's breakup with Justin Timberlake and the inspiration for Justin's Cry Me a River. Robson denied it at the time. Wade has won 2 Emmys for choreographing So You Think You Can Dance, but he eventually walked away from his dance career, moving to Hawaii with his son and wife Amanda.
We really get each other, but we still really challenge each other on every aspect. We're just the best of friends, you know?
I like that he's living a nice, quiet life in Hawaii right now.
Yes, so talented.
Well, coming up, another reason why we love Glenn Close.
She is the best thing that we have seen today.
Right now,